Hey, what's up, everybody? It's D Amazing here, bringing you a review. This time is the SH Figuarts Freeza Resurrection version from Dragon Ball Super. So, let's get started. First and foremost, I'm going to start by saying I sold my old Freeza, so I don't have a Freeza to compare it to that's not the gold Freeza. So, y'all going to have to put up with me. I'm sorry, y'all. I have failed you. But, in the meantime, you got a Freeza review, right? This Freeza, on the other hand, I've noticed definitely has more shades of blue, and I'm not sure if you guys can even see that or pick that up here. But there's definitely more shades of blue. The purple has been more, is more metallic. It's a more richer, bolder purple. And as you know, some people, the purples actually, they still don't match. But it's a little bit more purple going on. It's actually full blown. So you don't have to worry about it on either side when you're rotating. And the halo actually removes pretty easily. So just be careful. Just got to wiggle it out. Voila. As you see, the halo actually folds in to make sure it goes on his head perfectly. And sadly, but Frieza only has one head like this, so you can't put it on the other heads, which sucks, but, it is what it is, right? Frieza actually is pretty nice. I actually liked Frieza a lot, but I sold mine thinking, okay, they'll probably do a new one because, they've been doing new ones for all of them. The tail is pretty much the same for the first one. Doesn't move, it's not pretty flexible, but, it works out. That's why you have the secondary tail for. So we'll get into that in a second. But as far as articulation, there's nothing that you haven't gotten already out of Frieza that you would possibly expect for this one, except for the simple fact that it doesn't actually get loose really easily. So that's the one thing that's going forward with this Frieza that you don't have to worry about. Arms are still double jointed. You still have bicep swivel. You still can remove the arms very easily when you're swapping it for the swapping parts. I'll go over that in a second. The ab crunch is still the same. You rotate all pretty much the same. It's just that now you actually don't have to worry about your figure getting loose very quickly. It's almost like they use an entirely different plastic to allow you to be able to do this. So Frieza actually poses really well and holds really well. I really like that. They've obviously taken out some parts, like the extra feet that connect to the rock, because Frieza actually doesn't come with the rock this time. So if you have the previous one and you want to repaint those actually still should be compatible with this Frieza. So just keep that in mind. Overall, really liking this Frieza. I don't see why this shouldn't be in your collection, especially if you missed out on the first one. This is definitely one of those things where if you missed out, you should have. The one gripe as usual is that Frieza is very back heavy, considering his tail is heavier than the rest of his body. So you have to pretty much forward lean Frieza most of the time in photos, unless you position the tail downward to counterbalance him, like now. Real quick, let's talk about what Frieza comes with. We have his Death Beam effect part. It's actually pretty nice. This one is actually differently colored than the previous one, if I remember correctly. I believe the other one being more pinkish, purplish. This one is more reddish. You have a spot for the Tamashii stage. And there's no more pointing the finger in. You actually can just put it towards the finger. Tamashii stage at the opposite end. You'll be okay. Then you have the Death Ball effect part, which actually connects at the wrist joint of Frieza after you connect it to the singular hand joint. So let's test that out and see how it looks. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I think it's dope. So actually, I'm pretty stupid. Why did I do that? You put this on first, and then you put the hand joint on. That way you don't actually risk breaking anything. So you can see it connects really well. You have to make sure it's pretty in there. But for obvious reasons, you can get your Death Ball on. Voila. Let's swap this back in. I really like these purples. They're really, really nice. Next up, you have the interchangeable feet that I was talking about for the rock. Now with these, they don't actually put the planting part for the rock, because if you have Tamashii rocks, which I'll bring one up, I'm actually going to review these as well too. They actually plant really well, almost perfectly on these, as you can see right here. Voila. Get them Freezer rocks, y'all. Get them Freezer rocks. As far as the Death Ball beam, you get one hand for that, dedicated to his right hand, because Frieza seems to be right-hand favoritism. You actually get the taunting hand for him, when he's telling you to come here, or he's going to force you to come here with his telekinesis powers. You get energy beam hands, or crazy stop hands. And you also get relaxed palm hands, which, don't seem too relaxed for Frieza. Overall, it's there. You also get this head, which is ridiculously crazy. This is his, you know this face. I don't even know how to describe it really. As well as his yelling head. So you actually get the bang for your buck this time around as well with Freeza, because even if you've missed out, you don't get the things you previously got, but you still get a lot of other cool things with this Freeza. I actually like this one colored a lot more. Like a lot more. So I'm glad I kind of sold mine. Last but not least, you actually get the extra tail. Now the extra tail is extended. It actually rotates halfway through. It's actually a secret sort of extension that you can rotate through. This one can actually be used to hold characters. For example, you want to hold Freeza by the neck. You just extend this out. You extend it around, I said Freeza, wow. By Vegeta's neck. So you actually just extend it out, and voila, you can get it to hold Freeza. I keep saying Freeza, wow. You actually get it to hold Vegeta very well. So you can do that for many other characters as well in the DBZ line. Probably with the exception of Broly, but everyone else you can probably get wrapped around the neck. And the tail actually extends in and pops in really easily. Next up, we're going to do some size comparisons and some comparisons to his Golden Frieza form. Now, as far as Golden Frieza goes, as you can see, the dimensions and proportions are slightly a bit different. It's used on a similar body, but it's also not the same. He's slimmer. The pads, I shouldn't say pads, but the purple spot's actually different. The gauntlets are different on the legs. It's more like an armor going over the main body with the smaller proportion here in the chest area as well. I kind of like the Gold Frieza more, but it's really nice to have a Final Form Frieza as well. But Golden Form is actually really, really nice. The head is much smaller as well, too. So it's almost like they tightened up all the proportions on the Gold Frieza, as well as the new Frieza, just keeping it, pretty subtle. Next up, we're going to have him show off scale next to Vegeta himself. They actually look pretty good together. I like that a lot. Then next up, I'm going to go with the Resurrection of F Goku from the movie version, when he got his little Whis costume. Considering he's pretty much the same scale-wise going all the way around. So as you can see here, Vegeta is obviously bigger than Frieza, but he's still not as big as Goku, so it works out. Here's Frieza next to Marvel Legends Blade. As you can see, he's tiny. SH Figuarts Body-kun, Takara Hito version. What else do we have in the area? SH Figuarts Black Panther. See, Frieza pretty much is under all of them. Regular SH Figuarts X8. I think that's just about it as far as comparisons. But overall, I'm really liking the Frieza. I think it's really dope. Of course, you don't get as many accessories as before, but you do get enough accessories to make you go, okay, I'm really going to enjoy this Frieza. Or even better, if you've missed out, there's definitely a chance to own a Final Form Frieza. So it's overall, you get the better coloring, less accessories, but still pretty dope. In the meantime, guys, hope you enjoy the photos at the end. Hope you do good, be good, continue to drink your water. Take it easy, guys. Later. For some reason, one thing I forgot to point out was Frieza does come with his arms folding, obviously as the previous one. You can actually, they're pretty easy. It's not like the other ones where you can take them apart. They actually come together, so there's nothing you can do about that. They pop in just by pulling out the arms very easily. Again, don't know how I forgot about that, but here we are.